I think,
boy.
yeah, it feels, because you group primates together,
Yeah.
and we're sort of separate in a way, or that's how you think of them anyway. And I think also you spend so much, if you're interested in chimps or you spend time around them, you're constantly making connections between you and them. So you're feeling, even though it's kind of a one-way thing, you're feeling those similarities all the time. And then you see how they behave to other primates, and it's shocking. You can't believe that as sophisticated as they are and how connected you feel to them, they don't feel that sort of level of compassion or empathy for other primates at all, and they hunt them regularly.
Yeah. How many did you witness them kill?
It was quite a lot. I mean, it's a completely sort of true, authentic story that we documented. So everything in there is what happened and in the order that it happened. But obviously we were there for 400 days, so there's quite a lot of things that we filmed that didn't make it in. Now, we didn't keep anything back that we thought was relevant to the story, but there are sometimes other examples or other hunts. For hunts is a really good example. We didn't put in the series every time they hunted a monkey because it would be a lot of hunting monkeys. We saw it quite a lot. I remember on the second shoot, but it was the first time that a new camera crew had come out, and I was with one of the camera women, Lauren, and she was really experienced woman in filming in hostile and remote locations, but had never filmed chimps before and wasn't really used to the environment. And on our first day out, they hunted a big black and white colobus monkey. And, it's everything that goes along with it. It's the sort of the cooperation, the teamwork. There's a tension in the air when that they're going to hunt. They've decided to hunt, but it's not on yet. And they're sort of moving around the forest trying to get in a position where they can successfully catch this monkey. But then once they go for it, and then they're just chasing it. And it's chaos. And they are organized in a way. They know exactly what they're doing, but you're sort of running around after it, and you quite often don't know exactly what's happening. Where's the monkey? Where are the chimps? And she was just like, where am I? Like, what have I got myself into? But she was absolutely amazing because she sort of held the shots, and a lot of what she filmed that day is in the series actually. But I don't know, the energy when you're there and you're watching it, the energy of the whole thing takes over. And, maybe this isn't a good thing, but I think when you have seen it quite a few times and you accept it as part of the natural relationship between these two species, you do become slightly desensitized to it. And yeah, I remember the first time I saw it being very shocked. But once you've seen it quite a lot and it's a natural part of their lives, you don't feel the same way about it, actually.
Is that their preferred food, do you think?
Well, they're mainly fruit eaters, ripe fruit specialists. So, their territory is filled with fruiting trees. And those trees fruit at different times and at different cycles. And they have this incredible knowledge of all the trees that are in their territory. And they have a good idea about when they're going to come into fruit as well. So they're always moving around this vast territory and sort of checking out what's in fruit and what isn't. And they'll know that something's it's not quite ripe yet. But that'll stay there, and they'll come back and they'll feed off that tree in the days immediately after. So that's they have to survive. They depend on fruit. Monkeys seem to provide a sort of a different purpose in the chimpanzee community. They're definitely valuable from a nutritional point of view, but there seems to be other things going on as to why they hunt. And, I don't know, I'm going to use some of the wrong terms here that scientists probably wouldn't support, but they do seem to enjoy it. it does seem to provide some sort of cooperative function. You know, it's not sport, but at the same time, you know, it's not purely for survival. It's there's something else there. And I think in you know, when you watch them share meat after they've hunted a monkey, that's when some of its sort of function becomes clear, because who catches the monkey and then who gets a share of that becomes a really political business, and that feels, you know, from our perspective watching it, that suddenly it all sort of fell into place a little bit, because who gets meat and who doesn't has a sort of it's very political.
Yeah, it seemed like that in the documentary, where in particularly when the female with the baby got some, and the one male that didn't got very upset and attacked her.
Yeah, that's a kind of a classic example of it. Or, yeah, you know, they're all there trying to get a piece of meat because they want to, but it risks upsetting other chimps at the source.
Because there's only so much meat.
There's only so much.
A lot of chimps.
Yeah, and there's sort of the strongest alliances are being sort of served in that situation. So sometimes, you know, chimps get a scrap here or there. In that particular instant, she made it away with quite a big share of the monkey. And I think, you know, I wasn't there filming that particular moment, but I remember the crew saying when they came back, it did feel like that's trouble, actually. Good for you for getting a share, but actually that's, you're going to get into trouble somehow. But because, you know, whether she was aware that there was somebody who's, you know, a high-ranking male was being excluded at the same time. So there was this tension between the males, and then this was further complicated by a female getting a share, and then he just blew his lid.